idealism. So these are the characters in the cherry orchard. Anyway, I'm not going to emphasize on the characters. We'll go to the overview of the play. So the play as a whole, it's a tragic comedy which explores themes of social change, generational conflict through characters. So you will see characters of various generation. One is Mr. Fierce, an old man who who was born, who grew up, and also who took care of the cherry orchard. And you will see Lobokin, the son of the slave, and we see Mrs. Renevsky and her daughter. So you will see various generation through characters, and one of the uh, important theme is again the class struggle in the play. So where there is a transition, societal transition, the decline of the aristocrats and the rise of the middle class. So this is just a glimpse of what the play is about. Very interestingly, in Act 1, so here the tone at the play's opening is balanced and also ironic. And despite Chekhov, so despite the play deals with social changes, and when it comes to changes, so it's not easy to adapt to new things, to adapt to new place, new environment. But then here, despite all these changes, the struggles, the challenges that the characters undergo, you will see Chekhov's very brilliantly. He brings in humor in order to bring laughter, which is actually uh, which actually represents his brilliant exploration of tragic comedy. So here Chekhov sets up a tragedy, and the time is flowing towards an end point, a catastrophe, that is the sale of the estate. This is the climax point of the play. And here the opening of the play serves several purposes. So in the first here, first of all, it sets the focus of the play on memory and the past. And as a reader, you will also understand how this play is also a kind of a memory play, because through characters memory, through characters we get to know about what happened in the past and who are the characters. You will also see on stage, both on stage and off stage characters. And as I mentioned, that Lubakin, a merchant and also a person who eventually bought the cherry orchard, the estate, who owned the cherry orchard. So who Lobakin is a son of a servant, a slave, but then he eventually raises his status from the working class to the middle class and owning the estate. So this is one transition that you will find through the character of Lobakin. I'll go to the next one in Act 2. So the major conflict happened in Act 2, that is the conflict between Lopakin and Renevsky. So the memories of Lopakin, that is the peasant, and Mr. Fierce, who represent various generational conflict, the old men. And we also have very interesting character, Trofimov, who is a student, very bright, very yet very naive, and he says, "Be as free as the wind." So without interrupting much in wealth or in land or the estate, Trofimov is very practical, and also who also tries to influence Anya, the younger daughter of Mrs. Renevsky. So here you see the conflict of ideas through characters, that is Lopakin, Renevsky, and the student. And not forgetting here Varya. So here Varya, she's an adopted daughter of Mrs. Renevsky. She's a woman without money, but then here still she is in a position of powerlessness in society. She still suffers a sort of serfdom to Lopakin. And in Act 3, I'm just going briefly because I do not want to I'll just give a like quick overview of what happened in Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, and the final Act 4. So in Act 3, one of the important characteristics aspects that you see in Act 3 is the theme of class struggle. True, after, so even the auction, right? The auction of the cherry orchard, it took place in Act 3, and eventually the merchant Lopokin, he bought the cherry orchard, and you see the class struggle through Renevsky and her brother, how they live in the past and they become so nostalgic with their materials, with the books, the furnitures, where they grew up as a child and also as an adult in the cherry orchard. And you see the main climax of the play, that is the auctioning of the cherry orchard in Act 3. In Act 4, the final act, here the final act seems to forget the development of the three acts that preceded. So here mainly it deals with a catastrophic event. So here uh, Lopokin taking over the cherry orchard, and one of the very touching part of this Act 4 is the cutting down of the cherry trees, which is a symbolize the death of the aristocrats, the decline of the aristocrat Russian family. So represented by Renevsky after selling the cherry orchard, and also the string breaking and the old man fears, right, who died towards the end of the uh, play. So it becomes a very touching yet very nostalgic for Mrs. Renevsky. So this is what the play is about. And here you can just go through this analysis of Act 4. Renevsky, how Renevsky affirms the house connection with the past. So this is a brief conclusion how this play is simply the start of the great uncertainty. And here I have a question for you guys. Analyze what does the cherry orchard symbolize in the play? And the second one is the cherry orchard poses the question of whether the characters are better off moving on or if this is truly their tragic end. Thank you.